Hello, all of you vaingloriously wonderful people. This is the Bravado Dorado, and I'm about to find out if it'll off-road in the snow. We're back for our second week of Will It Off-Road in the Snow. We still have a handful of vehicles that we've already recorded at the time I'm doing this voiceover, and the weekend, well, it's been 2 weeks ago now for you, but this coming weekend for me, we're going to be recording several more, and they will be the choice of the people taking part in Will It Off-Road with me. I chose the first round, and now they will be choosing. So if you happen to play on PC and you're a member of the Vainglorious Discord community, you could have a pick. Just show up, and you'll get to pick a car. It's that simple. And then it'll be the car I test. You can drive whatever you want. So, if you want to torture me with something bad, I guess that's a thing you can do. Notice this video is going live after that, though, so the invitation kind of pointless, I guess. But you are welcome to join the Vainglorious community regardless and take part in all of our community live streams, community videos, and just, generally hang out with us. And even if you don't play on PC, we still want you. We still would love to have you as part of the official community. I mean, if you're watching Will It Off-Road, you're already part of the Vainglorious community. Let's make it official. Join the Discord server. We have people from all different platforms playing all kinds of different games. And we even have a place where you can post your quote-unquote spiciest memes. I don't know. I don't follow memes. Are we still calling them spicy? I have no idea. I'm not a meme person. I readily admit it. But anyway, the Dorado is a vehicle that I am quite fond of. It has really good grip. And because of that, it turns in a pretty decent time getting up the mountain in the snow. I'm really looking forward to when the snow's gone to seeing what this thing can really do. I think it's going to turn in like probably a sub 230. I could be wrong. But who knows? I also like this because my parents had this generation of Dodge Durango that this is based on, the first generation of Dodge Durango. And it was silver. Granted, it didn't have a stripe or the roof rack or the lights or the bumpers or anything like that. It did have chrome side steps that my dad put on it that looked hideous, but whatever. Mainly because my mom's short and she had trouble getting in and out of it without having to step. But, so I painted mine silver as kind of a tribute to the parental units. I thought it'd be a nice thing. And the silver's pretty much spot on to that silver Dodge was using back in the day. I think this was a 98, 99, maybe 2000. I don't remember. But it was definitely first gen. But I've been very pleased with how it performs. The only downside, and they'll come into play in the control descent, is it doesn't have the best brakes, and of course that's just punctuated and by the snow. It doesn't like to stop at all, but it climbed the mountain very, very well. So will it off-road in the snow? As we saw Hobo's Dorado doing a little leap on the side. Yeah, it did great. 255. Not bad at all. Out of the 72 vehicles that we've tested as of this video, it is 12th. In the snow, by the way. We've done like quite a few more in regular world off-road, but in the snow we've only done 72. It is 0.77 seconds slower than a Schlagen GT and 1.9 seconds faster than the Rebla GTS. I don't know how to say it. In terms of SUVs, we've tested 7 of them in the snow, and it's second. It is 2.82 seconds slower than the Baller ST. Kind of makes sense. I'm kind of looking forward to see what the new Baller will do, but I think the snow will be long gone by then. But we can still test because you can now turn snow on in races. But it is the same distance to the Rebla that we mentioned before in SUVs, bumping the Rebla down to third. Yeah, I'm being really cautious because I know this thing has terrible brakes. It just, as you can see, Raven has already, in the top right corner there, encountered issues with the lack of braking. Yeah, I pretty much came to a dead stop. But make sure you're playing Will It Off-Road Bingo. Oh, Hobo had an issue with the brakes as well. Make sure you're playing Will It Off-Road Bingo. The link is in the description down below, and it works for Will It Off-Road in the snow just as well as regular Will It Off-Road. It's easy. You click the link, it takes you to the bingo website, you click generate a new card, and then when things happen in the video, if you have it on your card, you check it off on the card, and if you get a bingo, then you put it in the comments down below, or you come tell us about it on the Vainglorious Discord server. And you'll be, I think it's our 6th winner ever. I always forget the exact number. Like, I'm sure for a while, because I'll go through and count them up, but then we'll go through a stretch where we don't have any Will It Off-Road videos, and then I forget again, because, I don't know, I can't be bothered to keep up with these details. And, yeah, I just rolled over. Thankfully, the rock there caught me, but, man, that did a lot of damage. Busted out a ton of windows, partially collapsed my D-pillar, took out a door and a fender. Like, what? Yeah, not the toughest thing around, but hey, for a little rollover, that's a lot of damage. And speaking of, wow, Raven, what if... I just happened to look up at the top right-hand corner just to see dude just full sending down the side of the mountain like it's damaged as shit already. I guess it was already so banged up he didn't care. Wow, that is an impressive amount of damage that he has inflicted, and we are down 2 minutes 49 seconds, so we're going to sit here for a minute, a little bit longer than normal, because, you know, I like to get people's jumps in, and Hobo was a little bit behind. Hobo, you know, good jump, lands it beautifully, but just watch the top right-hand corner of the screen. I'm not going to say anything, just, you know, watch. No idea. None whatsoever. He's lucky his Dorado didn't land on him, though, because it nearly did. It really nearly did. Look at the state of that thing. It is battered. Anyways, we're back at the top of the mountain for our damage descent, where we fling the vehicles off the side of the mountain to see how much damage they can sustain. And at this point, Hobo was a bit panicked because his was on fire. Apparently, he didn't put armor on it. And I just wanted to get away because I knew that thing was going to go boom soon, and it's catching up on fire. Thankfully, I do get just far enough away before the inevitable happens. Yeah, yeah. So Hobo winds up getting a ride from non-credit Rocket in his Mesa. And it was hilarious. Between Raven's jump and Hobo's car blown up, we were having a good time. And you can hear all of that because there is a behind-the-scenes version of Will It Off-Road that is available ad-free, but only to channel supporters. You need to be a member of the Vainglorious Discord server and have your respective service linked, and then either be a YouTube member, which I would really appreciate some YouTube members. I don't have any, and it makes me sad. Or you can make a monthly pledge at patreon.com/Vainglorious, or on the Vainglorious Discord server itself, you can buy a channel membership, which, by the way, there's other things in the shop, like you can get a custom video made by me, or you can have a video be ad-free. Yeah, all kinds of really cool things in there. Or you can also be a Twitch subscriber. All of those get you access to the Vainglorious HQ, which is where our supporters receive messages from me, and get links to those videos. We're down 139. Let's take a look at the damage on the Dorado. Well, maybe not, because literally as I was about to do, I had lined it up, got everything set, and it was ready to start doing the spin around shot there for the damage, and the gooch showed up. Yeah. So anyways, now let's take a look at the damage. All the windows and lights are gone. The hood, front fenders, and left rear and right front door are missing. The tailgate's missing. There's bent wheels, and oh my god, Rockstar did a damage model on a DLC car. It's a miracle. It's a Christmas miracle. Severe body damage. There's our sport vehicles from the front, Hobo doing the facepalm of shame, and from the back, and that is going to bring us to our next vehicle. The Declasse Impaler LX. And you know what? I'm not a big fan of, like, boxy 80s cars, but And this is going to be a little self-congratulatory. Bear with me. There's just a flaming 9F there. You can find out how that happened in the behind-the-scenes video. I think I nailed the design of this thing. I think I captured the ethos of the design of the Malaise era from General Motors to a T, and yet somehow still made it look good. I'm not really sure how I pulled that off, but I like it. I know it's self-congratulatory, but sometimes I nail a car design. And in this one, I did. And then, of course, I managed to drive it right off the side of the hill. It is a muscle car. Honestly, it should have been in sedans. It has no business being considered a muscle car. I mean, these things with their big, lazy V8s back in the day that maybe put out 150 horsepower, despite having 5 liters of displacement. Yeah. With probably a slush box 3-speed in it that, you know, took 10 to 12 seconds to shift gears. Yeah, they were bad. Bad cars. But I do see some now and then at car shows that have been really well resto modded. Like, you'd be hard pressed to look at them and see what's changed until you like look at a picture of a stock one, and then you start seeing all the little details. And people putting some serious performance and suspension underneath them from modern vehicles. I mean, you got all that real estate to work with to put new equipment underneath it, so you may as well. It does struggle a bit up the mountain. Of course, nowhere near as much as the struggle as what's going on in the top left and top right. Yeah, and I don't think we've done the moonbeam. I could be wrong. I'm going to check here real quick. No, we've not done the moonbeam in the snow, so I can't really comment on that. But we have done the Tulip M100, and without giving away the time that we're going to see here in just a moment, I will say that the Tulip M100 was 1 minute 11 seconds slower than what I'm driving right now. So, yeah, definitely Raven. I can understand why he's having trouble there in the top right. Hobo, I'm guessing, is probably about the same reason. You know, it has just enough power to spin its wheels, but no grip. And because of that, he can't really get any speed because his wheels are always spinning. And there's just not a whole lot that he can do. You can see he's trying, though. You know, that is the Wheel and Off-Road spirit, to just keep going. I give every vehicle 3 tries, at least. Sometimes I do more because I'm feeling generous. But, you know, you got to keep trying. But Hobo has decided to throw in the towel on his run. He winds up in an airplane after this. And he stays in that airplane for quite some time because on the control descent, my game crashed. Nearly to the bottom, too. Like, just as we're on that straight section, right before we take a couple final little turns, still up in the dirt. And my game just froze. It didn't even really crash. Like, it never ended on its own. I had to force crash it. But we're up 3 minutes, 24 seconds. So, will the Impaler LX off-road? I mean, under 3.5 minutes, that's not bad, honestly. That gives us, out of the 72 vehicles that we've tested, it's 25th, so almost top third. So, you know, not too shabby. It is 6.55 seconds slower than the Dominator GTX. And 2.57 seconds faster than the Comet Safari. But you would have thought the Comet Safari would have done better than that. I'd have to go back and watch the video to find out why it didn't. In terms of muscle, it is middle of the pack, 6th out of 12. Same distance from the Dominator, and then it is 12.12 seconds faster than the Vamos, so 12.12. And as I mentioned earlier, the Tulip that Raven's driving, it did 1 minute 11 better. Hobo is in a plane for this entire descent, and I think for the damage descent as well, so I don't know yet if I'm going to put his footage up in the top left-hand corner, mainly because, you know, it's shrunken down, and even in my full screen preview that I'm watching right now, it's kind of hard to really see what's going on other than him flying a plane. So I'm not really sure that there's a whole lot of value there. However, in the top right-hand corner, Raven is going to become intimately familiar with these boulders by the time all is said and done. His struggle was real in this recording. Absolutely struggling. I mean, he did manage to get it turned around. Whereas the Impaler's doing all right. It doesn't, you can see it doesn't land so gracefully on the bumps. But then again, it's a sedan. You don't really expect it to, you know, handle big jumps and have the suspension travel necessary to do that. So, I mean, it's nothing unexpected. It works. So Raven's already resorted to the up and atomizer. He winds up making the situation worse. Somehow, though, I don't know if we're going to catch it or not, but he does manage to pull off a really trick entry, getting back in his car as it starts to fly away from him. I don't know how he pulled it off, but it's pretty impressive. It's coming up here. I just don't know how far into the video it happens. I just know when I was editing everything together, I saw it and I thought, wow, that was cool. That was well done. But we're coming around the last little bit. We're well past the point where my game had crashed on the previous controlled descent attempt. And we're making it in our final little corners here, are on actually down on pavement, though it doesn't really matter because it's all snow covered. Just trying to keep the back in. Oh yeah, there he goes. Like, I don't know how he managed to get in. And we're stopping sideways in the Impaler. 2 minutes. 46 seconds. Almost 47. And Hobo bonks around, forgot his landing gear. So, back to the top for our damage descent. And again, not 100% certain if I'll include Hobo's footage. It just depends on how close he manages to get. It's kind of hard to really see what's going on from the vantage point of the plane. If it was full screen, it would be fine, but it's not full screen, so, you know, it's fine. That's no criticism against Hobo. Hobo wants to fly a plane. Hobo can fly a plane. It just doesn't mean I can really use the footage. It's not all that useful for really giving much insight into what's happening, other than the fact you can see I'm not moving and then get punted by rocket. But you can see that in better detail on my screen as I'm now chasing some of my own body parts down the mountain. Was that my bumper? Did I lose a bumper? Can't quite tell. I might have lost a splitter. I don't know. Did this thing have a splitter on the front of it to begin with? I'm not 100% certain. I know I don't have it currently listed in the damage list. I'll have to go back and look and see. But I'm almost wondering if it's the rear bumper, because I thought I saw... No, the rear bumper's still there. Yeah, I'm not sure what that little sliver... It may have been something off of Rocket's Rancher. Hey, Raven, what's up? It's a very real possibility that it was off the Rancher. Not really sure, but whatever. Going down to the bumpy, muddy bits, which you would think would be frozen, but nope, they're still muddy, and now they're muddy and snowy and still bumpy. So definitely for this long barge, posing many issues, or creating many issues. I guess that counts as a thread the needle. It was full throttle, but I really didn't have a whole lot of speed. I always try the jump over the wood pile. Yeah, still not happening. I just never get it. I only get it when I'm not trying, but we're down. 2 minutes, 2 seconds. So let's take a look at the damage on the Impaler. All the lights in the windows are gone. The hood and the left rear door, along with the trunk, are missing, and there is minor body damage. And the jury's out as to whether that one piece was a splitter on the front of mine. I don't think I had a front splitter, so I doubt it. Anyways, we'll take a look at our support vehicles from the front and then the back. Sorry that it's dark. I know those of you on mobile have a hard time seeing the dark images. But I do want to thank you for watching today. I know there are tens of millions of things you can watch on YouTube, and you chose this, so thank you. It does truly mean a lot to me. And until next time, which next week, more World Off-Road in the Snow, I'm Brandon, reminding you to stay vainglorious.